is Yin, and you're tuning into Cool Story Bro. This podcast is brought to you by Showroom Skate, a one-stop shop for all things related to skate. Link in the description below. Welcome back to an episode of Cool Story Bro. Today, I have the man, the frontman, the guy who founded Lost Spaces, Sam Lopez. And you are? Kun.
Nice
I feel like I've seen you before.
Probably somewhere. I mean, it's a
Maybe you didn't have a long hair last time.
Yeah,
Right. You play in a band as well? No.
yeah. So I played in various bands when I was younger, and currently part of Lost Spaces.
Yeah, so he plays synths and keys for us.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. So these guys are here today for Cool Story Bro, and of course they're here for a reason, because this man here just released his EP, right? Yeah. So he's releasing his EP. By the time you guys watch this podcast, it's already out, and he'll also have a music video coming out, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
So maybe just for those who are listening, we can just introduce yourself, like a more in-depth, more elaborate of like who Sam Lopez and Lost Spaces are.
Yeah, sure. I think like Lost Spaces started like as a solo project because I was just fiddling around writing music, and I think like last time in 48 with my friend Jude Lawson, we were just like hanging out in the halls and just jamming and I didn't really know what I wanted to do at first. Yeah. I thought like, okay, I was doing the whole Ed Sheeran singer-songwriter thing, which was like the thing back then but I realized that no, this is not what I want to do. I think in my mind I always wanted to have a band or like an idea of a band and make essentially band music So I think that slowly developed into Lost Spaces. But at the same time, like I recognized that finding consistent people to play in the band was going to be always hard. Yeah. So that's why we sort of adopted that whole Lost Spaces is my project, or we call it a project, and then eventually we did evolve into a band with the current lineup is been playing together for the last 2 years. So Kun plays keys. Yep. There's our guitarist Shien. He also does all our graphic design, so all the cool graphics is all him. And then my cousin was one of the original members. He plays bass.
Imran.
Yes.
And actually initially it was Lucas Lopez that played drums, my brother, but he was replaced by Carl because Lucas basically went to do his own thing for 2 years. I think he went to academy and stuff. Kyle has been playing with us for the last 2 years, but recently he has also like said that he wants to focus on his other band. Yeah. So all love to him. He's in Resort.
Shout out.
3-piece.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember he has a band as well.
Correct. Yeah. So I think like that. So like the moving parts of the band, that's why we sort of maintain that it's a Sam Lopez project. But to the perception of people do see us as a band. People see us as 4 or 5 guys going up on stage, which is completely fine by me. I think
Sam's like a sun, and we all just like sort of orbit around.
Something like that. The rest of them are planets, right?
Yeah. So funny story is I've actually met Sam many years ago. Maybe like 4 years ago, probably, when you guys stay in Kelajaya. So that time he wasn't doing any of any of the kind of music that he's doing today. Back then he just really rock up to open mic with a acoustic guitar, just like play, and then. Fast forward like what, last 2 years?
I think last 2 years was just crazy. Last year was the best year.
Because I remember that time you were like you were already trying to put out music, but you just weren't really sure what you were doing only, right?
Correct.
That was one of the problems that we were facing back then. And to see I was quite surprised, like where you guys are today. Like when I saw you guys headlining Good Vibes, I was like, oh. Wow,
I'm also still surprised until this day.
No, because, it's understandably tough in Malaysia. It's not easy there's a lot of bands who's been around and it's still like stuck at that. You get to a point and then that's when breaking out of that is super hard. It's a really hard battle. And not everyone gets to, get out of that. Like people like Yuna and shit, that they get to go like to the States and stuff. Yeah, so it's like, it's understandably tough in Malaysia. But I checked out the music.
Oh.
The previous ones, I really like this one song that I kept listening to for a while, so I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the earlier songs that you had.
Box set, Fake Guitars?
Fake Guitars, yes, Fake Guitars.
Fake Guitars,
Then, so I listened to the EP that you sent to me. So there's 4 songs. One is called, I really like Windows 95, right? Oh. Yeah, that's a good track. The guitar riff is nice I like that Yeah. The rest of it is not bad. Yeah, but it's good It's different. It's quite different from the last stuff you dropped So it's quite have you found like your identity in music yet? In terms of your sound
Yeah, I think like with the sound, like maybe Kun can go further because we had something with no vacancy and it was very bright and happy. But like when I started this project, this project was supposed to be like 5 or 6 songs actually, but I ended up only writing like 4 only made the cut because I felt like it was a bit of a tougher version, like tougher topic to tackle because I think I was delving into a lot more of like mental health, emotions, right? And we wanted to go for a darker sound. And I think the ethos of like, I guess Lost Spaces music was always like, we make whatever we want and try to like fit it within a narrative. But I think this time around, because Kun was just the head of the production and everything, so maybe you can explain, I guess, how we came about the process.
Yeah, well, well, with the first record, it was obviously done at a different time and like there was a different process to it, which like Sam said, we just kind of made what we wanted and see if it sticked, right? And there was a lot of like, bright, happy kind of dancey stuff that was centered around all that like record, and like the whole theme of the album was Sam dealing with like love and like relationships and the modern dating kind of
modern
thing.
dating sucks.
That kind of thing.
That was the theme of the first album.
Right. So I mean, it's all kind of an extension of Sam's experiences, right? Right. Even up to this Digital Paranoia EP, and like this time, I guess we're trying to explore like a little bit darker themes and like like he said, stuff that has to do with mental health and emotions and like this kind of thing. And with that in mind, I think what some of the things like I thought of and like we sort of agreed on was like, okay, let's go for some a bit of a darker sound, darker chord progressions. Some of the chord progressions in some songs are significantly a little bit more, I guess sad.
I think all the songs has like a minor major, so it starts all on a minor chord. And then we flip into some sections where there's some major, minor.
That same chord changes to a major chord at some point, and like the way we chose the instrumentation and the sound palette is that, okay, this time we want to do like songs that we can pretty easily pull off live, where we don't rely so much on like backing tracks and stuff like that, because we do use backing tracks live, and that was a big thing for the first record on No Vacancy. So with digital Paranoia, we just thought like, okay, cool, let's sort of like show off our instruments a bit,
like,
right?
The guys are good, the band is good, and we were like, let's go further into the bandy sound. But at the same time, I think because we're very electronic and we have some electronic principles, so we still maintain the synth pads and stuff.
I mean, but of course, I mean, it's not cheating lah, because at the end of the day, you want to have a good show, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's easy to mess up, like having to do everything like on the spot. Yeah. Right? Because so many things to think about, bro. You got to remember your lyrics, then you got to remember your chords.
It's like playing.
As an example, for Boxside Girlfriend, like throughout the whole song, like I don't sing backups at all because like I'm just way too busy. Because so my live setup is I have a big like main keyboard that has a lot of sounds, and I have a synth, like a microKORG. So throughout the whole song, I'm just playing every single part, and
It
like
doesn't stop. It's just
so like so I switch between
crazy,
and like because there's a lot of parts to the keys, right? So like with backing tracks, it helps you just sort of lay off that load a bit, and then we get to enjoy ourselves, express ourselves on stage a bit more. So I don't think it's cheating.
It's not cheating lah. I don't think it's. I mean, even if you want to understand how it works, you have to learn also. So technically, it's not cheating lah, right? Anybody, I can't just rock up and like I'm just gonna cheat like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do that even if I want to, right? I have to learn also. So technically, you have to put a homework lah if you want to shortcut also. Right. So when you guys, what is the biggest show you guys played? Like, Good Vibes.
I would say actually in terms of numbers, actually Urbanscapes.
So because I know you guys played in Good Vibes, then you guys opened for Boy Pablo. You guys opened for Sunset Roller Coaster as well.
So the Boy Pablo Sunset Roller Coaster was the same show.
Right.
Same. So that was the Urbanscapes, like one of the first days, I think, the Boy Pablo show. So I think there was Sobs, Sobs from Singapore, Boy Pablo, and Sunset Roller Coaster. So we were the first band lah.
Right.
So I think in terms of like people seeing us, like because everyone was there at 7.
Yeah.
So that was cool lah. Because like for Good Vibes we did play, but we were the first act.
Oh yeah, and usually it's like quite slow one, right? Yeah.
So I think Good Vibes was still actually quite surprisingly a lot of people, because there was like think maybe about 800, 900 people. But I think the Boy Pablo one definitely had more because maybe a few K.
Yeah.
About almost 2K. Like.
Eyeballing it, so probably.
Because the thing about Good Vibes is people pick and choose. Usually they will know that the earlier shows are usually like smaller bands. So they like even the first Good Vibes I went was like 2015 or 2016. The acts are crazy dude. We got like Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah, I was there too.
That was the probably like hands down the best Good Vibes for me.
That was the
best.
I think Sam agrees.
So then like after that it just kind of like no offense to the Good Vibes guys lah. We're friends and all. But this is my personal opinion of music that I like. Honestly, 2016 was like the best because you get to see like Taku. Like all these really not really big names, but the music is good lah. Yeah, and it's fun, bro. I actually loved it. But the only problem is that in the day, you got like our local bands playing. Not a lot of people showed up. I think only when like 7 o'clock, that's when people start coming more because that's when the international acts will come like after that. I think only Kyoto Protocol or like 7 Color T-shirt was the one that I saw that was packed. The rest of it was just like
unfortunate.
I think last year actually on Sunday, this is one like I feel like it's a very encouraging thing for like I guess the local fans or local. Midnight Music played at 5 o'clock on Sunday, and if I'm not mistaken, at least 3,000 or 4,000 people were there just to watch Midnight Music.
Hey, Midnight Music
and
is
I was in the crowd as well.
Midnight Music is that the Malay band, right? Like singing these songs.
Yes.
So this guy is like got this like good-looking vibes. Okay, so we got him for Sneakerla Taylors, right? So we got him to play for Sneakerla Taylors.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
they were there.
that show, I didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
So when they rocked out on stage, right, all of a sudden everyone went up. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Then I was like, oh shit, these guys are actually like crazy big, dude. They're like a lot of people love them. All the girls are like going crazy and shit. I was like, wow, this is actually like some rock star, man.
I was actually there playing for Talita, but like
he was there.
Oh,
so, like, he's sessioning for Talita.
After that, I think like it was I think right after Talita, there was them. I
bro,
think.
Even Talita so not a lot of people. I don't even know these guys and they came up on stage and just took over the whole show, bro. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like I never really expected that because but shout out to Arman, which is a Good Vibes guy who curates the musicians. Yeah, he has good eye for talents.
So I'm good friends with the guitarist from the band. His name is Adrian Daniel, and he opened for us for one of our shows as well. He has his own solo material and also like it's been very fun to see. I mean, even though they're much younger than us, I think they're like 19, 20.
Yeah, they're damn young. They're damn young. Yeah, they're damn young.
I think like hanging out with Adrian and like even the guys are like very very keen eye for songwriting, and
it's very inspiring.
It's like very nice to see that like these guys just love making music, and I think that pure like 4 guys in a room making music is so rare now. Even we don't do that we don't with Lost Spaces. We write like with me and him or with our other producer Chief. Then sometimes we'll bring our guitarist on or we'll bring Kyle in to track drums. But like I am actually very like shout out to them. I was just like very inspired just seeing them just do their thing at a young age. And I think the best part is they're not walking around like superstars in my opinion. They're very approachable. They're people that just
they're very nice. They're very nice. They're really nice when they were playing on stage. So their energy was good. They're really engaging with the crowd, the fans and shit. So they're really good guys. Like they're good music. I was really actually quite shocked that they're Malaysians. I thought they were like not Malaysians, but it's good to see like at least there's a huge evolution with our music. I think. For sure. Personally, I feel like ever since people like, Mac DeMarco, or like Rex Orange County, like all these people came out, right? There's a very certain sound that people like to follow now, which is chorus pedal.
That's true.
Yeah, it's huge, bro. Like literally, like I went back maybe like last year or something, or last 2 years, because I'm a huge fan of like Mac DeMarco and shit. Like, I really like that kind of sound. So I went out to shows or like just open mic and shit. And I started playing. I was like, all this like sounds very familiar. But of course, granted. Understandable. I mean, I would also do that because they feel inspired with the kind of sound, right? And I think it was quite of a trend for a while, for like a few years like that. For sure. I mean, even for you, like you were very heavily inspired by 1975, right?
Yes.
When you started,
I think when we started, it was like a big like thing that informed the music. But I think as we were working with the Chief, our first producer, and he still works with us till now. He still mixes our stuff, and like he also helps write. But like. I think we decided that we needed to. It's like we asked ourselves, do we want to be Lost Spaces or do we want to be a 1975 cover band? And I think for me personally, my answer was like, of course, I want to like find a sound, and like, even though yes, it might be informed by or derived from their formula, but there was that conscious effort to like, hey, let's try to curate a Lost Spaces sound. So, but at the same time, we did explore like outside the box. We and I think as 1975 also evolved on their own. We also
that's true. That's true.
So I think there is a bit of more distinction. Whereas I think when we first started, everybody would be like, oh, they're the 1975 of Malaysia. Whereas now I don't think people can say that anymore because we've explored too many different like sounds. I think even with this new EP, it's like I don't really feel there's a hint of 1975 as much.
Not as
I don't know what you think.
No, honestly, when I heard it, this doesn't feel like it anymore, lah. At least with the first album you guys dropped, there was like there was a hint of it, lah. It wasn't a lot, but there was like there was traces of it, lah. But it was not a bad thing. I mean, everybody has like a, you have to have a template, lah. Then from there you kind of like work your way around it, lah. I mean, everybody has a different way of playing around things anyway, right? So, but do you get offended if like somebody come to you like, you guys are like very similar to 1975?
I think it bothered me at the start.
It
for
definitely
sure. Like because I mean I don't hide my love for Maddie in 1975 because they are like, I think I watch more like Maddie Healy interviews than any other artist, like because I just love seeing him talk, like the way he talk about his art. Some people will find it like, wow, damn pretentious like this fella, but for me I feel like at least he's honest about his pretentiousness, and at least he embodies what he's honest lah. Like, he's just an honest artist that is trying to make music for the masses, and he always like updates himself, and he's like almost like he's going through therapy and he's sharing that therapy with everyone else.
It does kind of feel like that.
It feels like that. So I won't deny that, and I think that has informed a lot of my I guess music philosophies as well. The other person, of course, is Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. Like just
that guy is a legend.
He's like just listening to
hands
him.
down one of the best freaking musicians in the world.
Correct.
At the moment now, he's like I think the top. Every fucking like big time artist like overseas, everybody agrees. Kevin Parker is he's a G, man. This guy is a freaking genius. He's damn good, man.
But to answer the question, now I don't find it an offense. I think I look at it. Back then it was maybe because there was an insecure feeling of like, oh, I'm not as good, or I don't have the music to back it up. But now there's a sense of like, oh, it's okay. I mean, if people want to, I think also learning to understand that people derive music from what they are used to. So they're always going to try to associate to something they know. So then I became like, oh yeah, okay, actually it's not bad a compliment. I think it's a different answer. Actually.
Well, I think I mostly agree. But and like another thing I probably want to add is that the 1975 also has a kind of a weird spot within the the indie and the pop listeners where it's like they have as much haters as there is people that loves them. It's like if you go on Reddit, r/indie heads, for some reason they just fucking hate them. Right? I don't know why. Right? And like, even with a new album, then you're just gonna call them, oh, it is Talking Heads ripoff, or like, isn't this a John Hawkins song, this kind of thing. But, and then you have like a lot of, underage girls and, just screaming over, oh, Maddie Healy, this kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, with that also when people kind of compare it, then, there's an amplified effect of like, okay, that affects me a little bit more because of, how much flack they get. As popular as they are,
correct,
kind of thing, I think.
But I think that's the like when you sign up for stuff like that, you gotta expect that kind of heat to come, right? That's true, exactly. I mean, you can't please everyone, some people are just gonna be forever in love with pop or other kind of music, you just can't please everyone, But at the end of the day, how do you guys feel about the music you guys made so far? Like, how do you guys feel about it? Like, are you guys super proud of it? Are you guys like, we can do better?
I think I am very proud of like what we've done and what we've accomplished. I think over the last 2 years, like, first of all, I would never imagine that I would be in this position. Like, I think like a lot of whether it's with the label Breaking Music, shout out, and like just the idea that we could be sitting here now with a few million streams and playing all the biggest festivals in Malaysia in a short amount of span. Because it was like literally 2018, first song we put out in May, and then a year later we were playing Good Vibes and Urbanscapes, and so like I think whatever it is, I mean, on the technical side of things, there are a few things that I would have done differently in the album. A lot of things are. Now we look back, we look at the album and we're like, oh, maybe we should have done this differently or done that differently. But I think I think I still sit here with no regrets. I think whatever we did out of, because we didn't know any better. We were just in the dark and trying to figure it out.
Yep.
And then we figured it out and we put it out. And the response was like, I was like super shocked. Like, I think we were like, we got random, like we got such a big fan base now in like Thailand.
Thailand?
So if you go to our Spotify, like 19,000 monthly listeners from Thailand, from Bangkok.
Damn,
and
that's
we were
good,
like,
man.
why? How? But it happened like, I think people latched onto the songs and that was nice. And I think the theme of the EP was, the album last year was sort of being, shit, I hate modern dating or I hate modern love.
Yep.
So that I think resonated with a lot of people because also it was very bright and cheerful and that sort of set. Whereas it gave us a sense of like, okay, who are our fans?
Yep.
And who are we writing to? And like now we have a little group chat that like have a whole bunch of fans there and like we're having interactions with them on a daily, which is fun. And so I am proud, like just as the whole journey lah.
Yep.
Yeah. So for sure, yeah.
Nice. So have you guys played like overseas yet?
That was we were supposed to.
This year lah.
This year we were supposed to.
Where was it?
That was chill.
That was so sad. Yeah.
Singapore, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to open for Of Monsters and Men.
Oh shit!
God damn.
Yeah.
But that fell apart because I think the lead singer of Of Monsters and Men, they were on tour through Asia.
Yeah.
So he got sick in Bangkok.
Oh fuck. God
So
damn.
he lost. I think he had tonsillitis.
Mm-hmm.
And
not COVID lah.
Not COVID.
No,
This was
This was before.
just before COVID.
Oh shit.
This was January. Or was it
this was
Yeah,
January.
Damn, that's the worst, man.
What was it? Was it like a week after we played like KK?
Yeah, so we went to Kota Kinabalu.
Oh, nice. That's where I'm from, man.
A lot of fun.
That was
Yeah,
so
it
much
a lot of
fun. It's amazing.
The people there, they are very. Actually, this is the one thing I love about Sabah lah. Is people there when you guys play music and shit, they actually fucking lion.
Yeah,
Right?
it's so good.
Here you still get the whole, you play the people talking in the background and shit.
Yeah.
There's still a lot here lah, but over there it's like they really go full on lah.
Yeah, they were dancing
Yeah.
and stuff. It
The
was
culture
like
there
a
is
lot of
really
fun.
good. Yeah, it's nice, man.
Yeah. So then we finally get a call and said, sorry, it's cancelled. We literally announced it like
So
the week
sad.
before and then it was just cancelled and we were just like,
And I think what I was initially planning to, I think there was a, like Bon Iver was playing in Singapore.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like a couple of days before the
correct,
show.
correct, one day before the show.
So I was like, okay, I wanted to plan it according, and then that, like, it was announced like a couple of months before, right?
Yeah.
And then we got to know, okay, we're going to open for Monsters and Men on that day. Then I was like, oh my god, this is like the perfect weekend.
Yeah, so it's like go
Right?
watch Bon Iver and then
Go
play,
play a show.
for
Yeah,
Kenny.
man.
And then the next day we had like an interview with one of the radios there too.
Yeah.
So it was like, perfect. Like it was going to be a perfect weekend, but then it just
Yeah, it just exploded.
So I think that was a big blow this year. At the start of the year, it was like damn sad. But like and we were in talks to do like a show in Bangkok as well with one booking agent. But I mean, it all hasn't materialized because
It's hard lah. It's hard to plan anything now, right?
Yeah.
So Bangkok, Singapore. So you guys have any other plans for maybe like after, let's say if COVID wasn't here lah, what else was in the pipeline actually?
This EP was supposed to be out, and then I have actually a whole bunch of we were supposed to do like 2 collab tracks. So I think what our strategy was like, because we have already sort of like put out an album, and then the EP is like, actually why I made the EP was simply because like my album was too short. Like I had 40 minutes, even though we had 12 songs, but 40 minutes wasn't enough to play like a full hour show. So the idea was like, okay, let's write another few more songs as an EP, so that right now we can actually pull off a full hour show.
Oh shit, I never thought about that.
So
the whole hour
that,
thing.
that was my intention initially, and then the goal was to like tour after this, like through this. But since that's on pause, we've actually like have 2 more like tracks, which I cannot say who the collab tracks are, but I can say where they're from. One guy's from Australia.
Wow.
And one guy.
Kevin Parker.
One girl. Oh, I wish. and in Singapore
In a parallel universe.
is a female artist that's up and coming. So working on a song with her too. But yeah, so like that's actually down the pipeline. And to be honest, I think personally, I just want to, after this, I'm going to probably take a break from writing, because it's think for us, it's been, I think I counted yesterday. I was like, shit, we've written 21 songs.
Damn.
In 2 years. And I was just like, whoa, how do I do that? Like,
It's a good thing though.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Well, I mean, it's probably more than that because it's just 21 released songs.
Yes, correct,
right?
correct. That's true. 21 released songs.
So it's
But
like
I
even
think
more than
it's
that.
more of the fatigue, the creative fatigue as well, of like trying to just pump out through every. Because one of the philosophies in our label is that we try to go in cycles. So we try to write as many songs with the production cycles as we can, and then at the end of the cycle we must release at least one, or if you have more, then two singles or 3 singles. So it's a very concerted effort to keep, like, almost build a machine that runs smoothly. But me personally, like, I think with this record also, like, part of the reason why the record became about mental health was because there was this stress of like, oh, I need to churn out stuff, and then because sometimes I couldn't write at all, so there's that feeling of like, I'm not good enough.
Yeah, you
I'm
get
like,
scared
and then that becomes a vicious, like, toxic cycle. And then I think it was it you or was it Chief that said one day, it's like, oh, you got nothing to write, why don't you write about not being able to write?
Probably him.
It's probably him. And then I was just like, oh, I should. Because then I started to pivot my focus on just talking about the process of being stuck in the head and like not being able to move forward lah. Even though your exterior circumstance is good, but the inside always fight, right? Like you're fighting on your own, fighting your mind. So that was definitely the process of that.
So these so each of these track individually for this EP, they all have different stories to tell, right?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
So Windows 95 is about you and your current girlfriend.
Yes.
This guy, when he started last time, sing a lot of songs about girls that shot him down. Finally, now you get to see him sing a song about him and his girlfriend. Is it the first song that you sang about your girlfriend, or is it like not the first one?
Technically, 35mm was like in the last album was, but this one is about her lah. This is the only song about her because I met her last year. She had good vibes.
But 35mm was kind of, I mean, recontextualizing. It wasn't to begin with, right?
Yeah. I was writing about the idea of who I want to be with.
Right. So the idea came to life lah.
Yeah. to be
and
honest.
Good vibes lah. So you played that song at Good Vibes, it came to life lah. Very good.
Yes, actually that's like so 35mm is her favorite song.
Right.
Before I wrote
Oh shit.
Windows 95.
Yeah,
she's actually Singaporean. She's and like I think we've been dating for like 8 months, and so like in the song,
8 months. Oh.
yeah, I think it's 8 months already. Like in the song, there's this line towards the end that says, "Take my hand through the screen."
Yep.
So that was me like egging that. Okay, this is LDR lah. Like so, people to see that little thing, they're like, oh, okay, they get it. So it's not just like, but it was also me saying like, I miss the intimate times, and like I can't be with her physically because of COVID and everything. So that was, I think when we finished the song, that was that mind space that we were writing about that. So yeah, it's been fun. I think she's biased out of all the songs. It's like that's her favorite song for sure.
Of course lah. So the new one, this one, Windows 95 is not her favorite song yet.
Oh no, it is.
Oh, it is her favorite song now lah. But it's good. It's a good EP, man. Like I checked it out. I'm very like quite anal when it comes to music, right? So I'm the kind of guy that will listen to the same shit for like a long time. It's quite hard for me to just like go find, unless I find it on my Discover Weekly, I find something new lah, which is like Discover Weekly is heaven, man. That shit is like great. That shit is amazing.
Agree. I love that.
Yeah. So even for you guys now lah, so MCO is like obviously destroying everyone lah, right? So how do you guys coping, especially when it comes to events are your main chunk of money, right? It's your shows, so you can't do shows now. So how you guys like, what are you guys doing to like compensate for that?
I mean, obviously we're all staying home so that we spend less.
Yeah, that's true. That's one. Yeah, that's one.
That's one.
Yes, that's one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think like personally, like I've been like looking to do more like teaching stuff. So I'm figuring out a way to, because I do teach guitar on the side. But like I basically built a bit of a syllabus to basically say how do you craft the song from zero to a full song, right? So I'm refining it and basically putting it together as like a proper syllabus that I can teach. So whether it's an one-time online consultancy thing, or if they want to go deeper, I think I plan to basically pivot to that and use my knowledge writing this amount of songs for the last 2
Yeah.
years, because I do have a system in the way I craft my lyrics and different aids to help stimulate the process lah. So I'm going to be doing that. Probably launch it in July or August, just to have a different source of income to come in, since we don't have gigs, right? For us, I think we're actually a bit fortunate because we still are with the label.
Yeah.
So the label kind of helps definitely give us the basis of like a basic salary, so that we don't starve and die lah.
Okay, like at least you guys got like a basic salary. Like.
Correct. Because we do other work. He produces for the other artists.
Oh, right.
So he does for Talita, for Alien Lipstick Fire, Crinkle Cut, and Lost Spaces. And me personally, I do all the releases. So the pitching, the marketing stuff for all the artists. So we kind of are secure in that sense lah.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like I am looking to move to a different country in the next few years. So
Singapore
is the first step, because girlfriend is there too, and we'll see lah where it goes. I think for now we're just trying to solidify and figure out different streams of income lah. I think even as the label, and I think it's doable. I think things are now slightly opening back up.
Yeah.
And I think the good sign is that that it's not a stalemate where we can't do anything. We're still stuck at home, right? Yeah. So I think I don't know about yourself. Are you?
Well, I mean, all I've been doing is just focusing on the work side of things, and I guess that kind of applies to the rest of the band as well, because I think everyone sort of has a day job of sorts, right?
Yeah.
And, most of all of us are just trying to cope with that, and I guess as a band we all just kind of okay, let's just like slow things down a little bit, try and catch up on some of the old stuff. We're just doing the music video for one of the songs, and everyone just and we all just sort of communicating with within the group chat with like all the fans, and just passing the time a little bit now, which I think is fine, especially in these trying times and all this kind of thing.
I mean, you gotta make sure like these guys are still. I mean, at least when it's MC, you can't do much, right? At least you keep in touch with your fans. It's a good thing.
Correct.
But you know what you said just now, when you say like how you're teaching classes and shit, right? So yesterday I was watching. Ultimate has this thing, right? He does like weekly. I think it's like a talent show. You he go on IG live, then he invite whoever it is, then they come and basically perform or do something lah.
Oh, wow.
So this is one Sabahan rapper. So he came on. He's basically like just a regular dude lah, regular young kid. He went on and he dropped it, like basically he rapped to Ultimate his song lah. Like not Ultimate song, but the guy made his own song. So the problem with him is like, so Ultimate said, okay, your song is like half done, finish it, record it, put it up. So this guy said, I don't know how to do it though. Like I have no recording equipment, I have nothing. I got I have no money, I'm not rich, everything like that. So I think what you have found like success from your when you're trying in the beginning, right? So I think a very good avenue is actually helping these young artists to from songwriting, recording, putting a song up, what sort of platforms do you use. So it's so sad to see like these guys are actually really good. You just don't have the right knowledge, or they're not knowledgeable in terms of like the whole process of recording a music. So which is, I think, even it's for me when I back then when I was like doing music and shit, I had the same problem. Like back then it was so hard because I don't know anyone. When I came here, I have like zero friends who do music. I had to like YouTube wasn't that big of a database then lah. It was tough, man. It was super tough. You want to learn how to mix, how to record. It's like really just try to learn yourself and it's tough, man. Like now today when I'm learning I literally have experience with like I used Logic before, I used FL Studio, I used so many different DAWs, then I ended up sticking to Ableton. Like Ableton forever, man. Ableton forever. So like when I was doing all this back then, Cubase, all this kind of shit, right? I had no one to teach me, man. It was so fucking tough. And then I ended up like, I did it for a year, and then I still cannot do it properly. I was just like, fuck it, like, you know what? It's taking too much of my time. I just let it go lah. So it's like after that when I came back from UK and I met you guys, then I was like, oh my fucking so easy one. All this thing now. Like I was doing all this thing, I was like, oh my god, like I wish all this was available. Because it was so hard. Sure. Like at least you have friends who's into music. At least then it's easier. You can kind of steal from there a little bit. But I had none, so it was super hard, man. Yeah, it was tough, man. So you have to like I fucking regret lah. Like I didn't put in more time to it, or like I wish I was living in this era. Because I wasted so much time.
Yeah,
Well-
but I mean, it's never too late.
Yeah, and like personally
Come on,
speaking,
joke.
personally speaking, like from my background, I like it helped a lot to do that exploration with friends or a friend, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like having your peers with you, trying to let's figure this shit out.
Yep.
We have no idea what the fuck we're doing, but
Yep.
like let's see what does this button do, what does
Yep.
that button
Yeah,
do.
that's
So,
exactly what I did lah.
yeah,
It was mad, bro. It was so tough, man. Last I still look at it, I was like, oh shit, this looks so scary.
yeah.
Then
exactly.
even Ableton has one of the scariest looking interface ever.
Really, you
Yeah.
think so?
Compared to
when I
like
first started,
Right,
I was
right,
compared to the
yeah,
rest,
maybe,
compared to the
maybe,
other
maybe,
DAWs, right?
maybe.
When I look at this, I was like, oh, when first I look at this, I'm not really enticed to it. So I used Logic first.
Yeah.
But after using Logic, then somebody introduced me to Ableton and I started using. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty freaking easy lah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
super convenient, super easy to use compared to the rest. Now I find it the easiest to use lah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but like I said, man, it's really like I think maybe how you can help the the youth here is really into music, right? It's really just teaching how to record lah.
Yeah,
Like that's one of the biggest major issue, man. Like singing and everything, playing an instrument, everything can be done out of the studio. Anything you can learn it anywhere, anytime.
Correct.
It's just really like this
the nitty-gritty
thing itself. Yeah,
stuff,
it's the most tedious part. It's the most important process of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's super hard to like. I mean, sure. I mean, nowadays you get a lot of resources lah, but now that you've found success.
Yeah, definitely.
And nothing really beats like hands-on kind of face-to-face.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, conversation.
Really,
And
like, cause my business partner Joshua, he used to be in a band called Roosevelt.
Oh.
Yeah, so him and Brian,
Yeah.
they used to be in Roosevelt.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when I met him, that's when I started to learn more, cause they've been playing for a damn long time. They stopped already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're just doing music for fun and shit. So then that's why I learned all this from them lah. And I was like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck, so easy. If I met them back then, I'd be happy lah. But I only met them like 2 years ago only, so too late already lah. But yeah, man. So it's, I mean, yeah, my office actually not a lot of musicians, but the two of them lah. They're like,
Yeah.
they played. They opened for Incubus last time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I remember.
Yeah, I think that was their
remember
biggest show lah. But they got a lot of bands lah. Brian especially has like shit ton of metal bands last time. He was with Kevin Cotti lah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
he was
okay,
with Cotti in a metal band. And after that, in another metal band, and like all over the
Yeah.
place one. They got like one fella got like 4 bands at that one. Yeah, it's
Nice,
quite crazy.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're all really like metal heads ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you guys like gonna like what kind of music do you guys like to listen to besides like I would say maybe you guys listen to a lot of indie lah, right?
He has a very different palette, very interesting palette actually.
All five, I think all of the
all five
members
of us
kind of has different
different,
sort
right.
of tastes. Well,
Yeah.
for us, because we're in the room right now,
Yeah.
I think like Sam's taste kind of comes through a little bit in the Lost Spaces.
Yeah,
like,
so it's more prevalent in our stuff that we
discography.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
You
guess
can talk about yours.
for me, I'm pretty I'm pretty heavy into electronic music.
Electronic music.
Electronica, kind of.
I mean, you play the
chill
scene
stuff.
a lot also, right?
Yeah,
So that's like your thing lah.
Yeah, so
He DJs as well.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Uh, I
we,
mean-
were, we were actually toying with the idea of a Lost Spaces DJ set.
Why
Yeah.
not, man?
Like maybe we would lah.
Yeah,
A lot of people
yeah.
do remixes nowadays as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I actually did a remix of Lost Spaces
Yeah.
track,
Yes,
the
yes.
guitars, right? So
Kuszanagi remix.
Yeah.
Shout out.
yeah, so like I'm into electronic stuff. So like I guess that's where some of the
So everybody's like sort of like their what they like. Everybody will put it into the songs you guys make lah. Like a little bit of everything
not
lah.
necessarily.
Actually, not necessarily lah. Like, cause I would definitely say like Lost Spaces sometimes, actually most of the time in the creative process, it functions almost like a dictatorship where I will have the final say. But
Yeah.
I do
Sam has a
sometimes
whip
like
all the time.
yeah,
Fuck, give me this.
so, but like we like that's something that we've never explored. Meaning like because everyone's so he loves electronic music.
Yeah.
My bassist Imran, my cousin, he loves his K-pop stuff.
Oh what?
Yeah,
So it's
Of all
like
things.
Oh, he's into
like a
K-pop
very-
one, right?
Yeah, it's like, and he's pretty.
We all make
hardcore
fun
in
of
that.
him for it, by the way.
Yeah, no lah, but I love him. Then my guitarist, he's a big R&B D'Angelo kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then I guess Kyle is the closest to what I listen to. So he's a big 75, very indie pop.
Right.
But actually, the stuff that I listen to actually deviates a lot more into a lot more bedroom pop and a lot more like I listen to a lot of weird stuff lah. Like so, I mean, there was one period of time I was listening to Mongolian throat singing, and it was like random stuff that just like interests me, like sound textures. But I think my only regret with Lost Spaces is that I haven't had the time to go and explore all these weird stuff because I think the way we make music is also like we're thinking of how the casual fan can consume the song. So, but maybe in the future, I plan to do like go and like.
Yeah, but that's the problem with Malaysians, like the music palette though. Like a lot of our palettes very heavily influenced by the West.
Correct.
Yeah, right. Sure, so even like, you have like, because I know we have a lot of bands in Malaysia that are actually pretty good lah.
Yeah.
You know, like, you guys listen to math rock
or
post rock?
Occasionally.
Like, so there's this band in Malaysia. I can't remember the name
Mute
really.
Side.
Yeah, Mute Side.
I love them.
They're good, man.
Damn good.
I was surprised when the show they played. Nobody was there. I was like,
it's them. Yeah, I've been to a gig also, and they were like 10 people.
Yeah,
there.
like I mean,
they were
it's
so good. Like,
yeah, they're good. The thing is that I don't. Okay, maybe as just like a layman consumer of music, you probably don't appreciate the work that they put into the music, like, because the way they play is like literally they don't sing one. All you have is just really my fingers and my instrument. Right, they're just really going ham at that shit, just playing like crazy looking chord progressions and whatnot. But man, people don't appreciate that, I guess. But they're really good, man. I don't want to hear. I mean, I don't know what happened to them now. I think they stopped already, right?
Last year they did release like a song, like a collab YouTube thing, but I haven't heard from them for a while as well. The other few bands that I legit love to the core of my being is Lust.
Oh yes, Lust.
And like I think they have found like a very
nice marriage of
marriage of like some of your more prog stuff. And with very interesting songwriting, very sing-alongable songwriting, I would say.
And then like kind of folky sound
as
well.
there's like folky textures as well. To me, I think last year, we put out an album, but they did too, and I was like, that their album is album of the year to me. I wouldn't put my album in that category also, because like for me, that's how much I really do respect some of the people that like put out stuff here. And like, I think it's just an education thing. First of all, I think people are not really exposed to these kind of sounds across the board lah. So whereas I think if Lust started their career in Australia or somewhere in the States, I think the progression for them to build a niche would be much, I would say, definitely way easier to do lah. But of course, I think Malaysia is still a country that needs a lot of progress in terms of whether it's arts appreciation or. But I think the signs are there. I mean, I feel like
it's improved lah. It has improved vastly.
Like I think you just need to give people the comfort to be able to. I'm comfortable living my life right now that I don't have too much to worry about. So let me just spend some of my time exploring music or like something I like. And then from there, that's how you sort of grow your listening base and your palette and that kind of stuff lah. I think that's how you sort of push people to listen to more stuff and more fresh stuff, that kind of.
For me, like, just look at the whole bunch of releases, whether it's your Luna Diras or Midnight Physics, and I think recently, like, shout out to Keith Noel, Leon Sapphire,
which is Carl's brother, by the way.
My drummer's brother. He has a very interesting like Thundercat and Frank Ocean vibe.
Nice.
So like he just released a song last week, and last week as in 6th of June. Amazing stuff. Like I think like I was waiting a long time for that, and I was so happy it came out. So for me, it's like I think the musicians are really buckling down and doing their due diligence. Meaning like they're with now you can make music on your laptop, and I think that is putting us in a good spot lah. But how to progress from this point, honestly, I don't know. Like. For us also, I think we
gotta be white, man.
Yeah, we do feel a plateau a bit.
It's weird like in Malaysia, like it's super weird like I don't know how or who decides who is good enough to be big, right? Because it's very obvious the listeners are not the ones who decide. I think no matter what, like I mean, you can be like Kuro Proko has been around for a long time, but they still haven't broken out of Malaysia. Maybe they've played international shows but they haven't had a base where it's strong enough to say, you know what, I don't need a full-time job. I can work on this, just for life. But it's hard. Like it's kind of sad to see, like, bands have been, even Hujan as well. Even I actually asked No Saleh, like, when I met him, when you guys touring again? It's like, got no money. And I'm like, but you guys are like the biggest indie band in Malaysia, man. Like, how can you, like, we're hearing him say that, right? It's just like, wow, the music industry in Malaysia is just really bad. It's reality is hard, bro. I mean, as a listener, when I look at him, he's like a superstar. Right? But when I talk to him, it's like, shit, he's just struggling like any other upcoming artist.
Which I think it's just the general population that misunderstands this is that like we just come off like we are like
Yeah.
superstars for some reason, but we're just your regular people, you know, to be honest.
We're trying to get by. We're just trying to
put
make
food on the
art and
table,
trying to actually monetize our art. But I think the core problems actually stem from, I think, a lack of business acumen, a lack of understanding marketability. And I'm not saying this about Hujan, you know. I think they've done well to establish that, but I think the long-term infrastructure, like if you think about it, we don't have a touring circuit here. Like there's no like, oh, we can just, if we want to release an album, there are venues available across Malaysia that is ready to receive like our fans to go to and listen to your music. And the reality is that the touring and the merch is a big portion of how we earn our money. Spotify money is small. Like we've I think one of the more successful like bands on Spotify, but like the money is not the biggest.
Not a lot, right?
It's not enough to sustain all 5 of us.
It's just a nice bonus.
So it's a very tricky situation. But I think personally with the COVID situation, as much as it's wiped out like
shows for you guys,
but I feel it brings a challenge to figure out, or I would go as far as to say like, maybe there's something very wrong with our Spotify's and our Apple Musics to a certain extent, because like there should be a different way to work around it, or at least lend the art into the consumer's hand without shortchanging so much of how much you put in. But that's a different conversation like entirely, which I think will also come with the progress of the country itself as a whole. I feel like once economic conditions are better, once lives are more like in a comfortable place, like he was mentioning earlier, then you will have musicians going, okay, I can like ease off a bit and just spend time. I have some financial stability and that I can make music. Or even having, whether it's corporate clients to sponsor these tours and everything. Like, I think there are workarounds, but it's just that people are not connected or talking about it or trying to make something happen.
You guys should try to talk to Heineken. They are quite
probably a good thought.
They're actually very supportive of like local talents, but it doesn't have to be music or whatever lah. Because we've done a lot of things with them. Like we do like pop up like pre-love market, and then Heineken will like, you know, they will probably give us like couple of crate of beers or some shit like that, and like help you out with your budget a little bit, maybe for rental and shit like that. Just that the because the thing about them is they cannot advertise alcohol outright, right? So maybe what they do is they'll help you pay for your venue. You can host a show or something. The people come drink, take pictures, or hold a bottle lah. Then that's the KPI lah. You know what I mean? So you should totally hit them up, man.
That's a good
try hit them because they've been trying to tap into the, you know, the young market lah. So obviously you guys have the right market. So you know, try lah. I mean, obviously cannot lah, but you know, just hit them up lah. Never know, man.
Down the line for sure.
So for your EP, which is your favorite song?
Favorite song? Wow, this one's hard.
You better say the right one, man. Your girlfriend listen to this. If it's not, why is it not that one? I thought it's for me. Why is it not that one?
Well, let me disclaimer, she's my favorite.
Okay.
But my favorite song is actually, I think the title track of the EP, which is Purple Laces, the first song. I think I had a lot of fun writing that because it was, like I think it was the most pop song for sure out of the whole record. But I really enjoy the melodies there. I think I managed to like finally like pull myself together, because the other songs I was writing it from a very like scattered position, whereas this song was like, okay, I know what I want, let's go. So it's a very like concerted like effort to, okay, this is what it's about, wrote it down. And I really like how the song, and I reference a few old songs as well lyrically, so it's like one thing that I like to do where I think there's one line that there must be gold and silver and it's empty cassette. So that's silver and gold, I have none. So I'm like just playing with the words. I reference the old stuff, which also I think sort of indicates where I've come from. So that song was a very faith-based, like almost Christian-y song. But now it's like I've departed from that life. And wherever I am going now feels like, this is different. Like I'm basically saying that, I don't regret that, but this is my life now, lah,
Right.
sort of thing. So, yeah, for you.
You?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Windows 95. Right? I think.
Yes, you said the right one.
So obviously your girlfriend is not my girlfriend.
But it's okay, what? You help, you got girlfriend or not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
go
So you dedicate the song to your girlfriend also lah.
Yeah,
The whole band
probably.
all dedicate to their own girlfriend lah.
Probably.
Yeah.
You should guys totally do that, man. One person write one song with your girlfriend, release an EP.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. Why?
Yeah, love song.
Maybe.
man.
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Valentine's Day next year lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about Windows 95 that you like?
Well, the most of the things I like about it are the musical side of things, the melodies.
Yeah, the melodies. I love the melody.
The, yeah.
The guitar lines are dope, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Good job.
Yeah.
But who you put it together? Is it?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a very like a team effort between us
Yeah.
for Windows 95. I think we kind of wrote it from day one, and then ended it where we wanted it to be lah. And all the instrumentations and all the stuff. I think it's the whole combination of all the kind of sounds that we used and
The vibe,
the
lah.
chords
I
and
think
the vibe
yeah.
and everything. It's very warm
Yeah.
to me, and it's like a little bit sexy as well. Like the way the way I
It's quite dancey also. Actually.
Yeah, a bit
Yeah.
lah, probably a bit,
Grooves,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's pleasure for the ears to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So I like it, man. This was the first song I played. After I played the other three, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah. Fun fact: the first, the song Intervision, which is I think the second track of the EP, that was the first time that all of us wrote something
Together
on one
lah.
song.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, I think that was the only song so far. I mean, it took a longer time to put together,
Yeah.
but at least that's the first song that we can say like, oh yeah, we wrote it together as a
Right.
band now. Then the rest, of course, we finished on our own. One of my second favorite is actually NIE, which is the super dancey one, because that was like a weird one where Chief had a demo, and he basically was like, I heard it and I was like, can I have this? So it's just a bass and a very house kind of the beat,
The drum
beat
pattern.
and the drum pattern, and I was like,
With like a halftime sort of breakdown at the
yeah,
chorus.
correct. So I was like, I can imagine this with my drummer playing drums. So it was like okay, how would this house track sound like in a band context? And then we went down that route, and it actually came out quite well. But personally, I wasn't like the biggest fan of my own lyrics and all. I thought I could have spent more time with that. But it like if I think if I tweaked it the way, like if I had more time, I would definitely like that would have been my favorite. But having said that, like it was a process lah. Like
Yeah.
I think we treat each song as we go by as a process of figuring out. And I think this was the first time that we did the whole thing together mainly, rather than previously we still had Chief and all on board. So it's a very different experience. We were trying to figure out how he worked, how I worked, and then it was a process that needed a little bit more time lah. So, but I do think like everything came together the way it should have, and I think like I said, I think there's no regrets there. Like we were just happy that it's done, and we were hopeful for people to see it lah.
Like I said, writing songs together is the first time. That was the first time all five of you write together.
Yeah.
So has it been any point where, because you have the most of the control of the music, right?
Yeah.
Have it been a point where you came to you and be like, hey bro, you don't really cannot lah. but then you being stubborn and be like, no bro, like it must be like that.
Got lah,
A few times,
I think
a
a
few
lot.
But how does that, like, how do you, I mean, obviously that can sometimes affect relationships between people. Yeah. So like how do you guys deal with it? Like, do you guys really just sit down and debate until the point where you guys compromise, or you guys be like, you know what, fuck it, you just follow him only?
So mainly I think most of the tension, if you will call it, is between me and Sam.
Yeah,
right? Because
most of it, actually,
we most of the time it's just us kind of making the music besides Chief lah, right?
Yeah.
And so I've always angled it as like this is Sam's project and his brainchild, so it's like I work for him in a way,
Yeah.
right? As much as I'm part of the band,
Yeah.
right? And I just try to balance it with a bit of objectivity, that as much as I know, as in like, oh, okay, this chord is a bit too weird. There's too many instruments here, or that kind of thing. It's like I just try to think about that, and I will voice it out if things get a bit too crazy, in my opinion lah. But like if it's something that he wants to do in the end, then it's like, okay, sure, let's just do it. I may not like it so much, but it's like that's it's your thing, not really my thing as much. So
yeah.
it's mostly like
I think that's definitely like, I think the nuance of like, okay, we're supposed to be a group or a band, right? And then we were writing together. And then also there's this tendency where I like, okay, what does Kun think? Because there's this mindset of like
a bit of inclusiveness.
I want to include right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, oh no, but this is what I feel works best for the song. So it's very subjective opinions. And when we're in the moment and we're disagreeing, I think that's where like it's very hard to split the two sometimes, because also we work together.
We're also housemates, by the way.
Oh shit!
So it's like, so there's many like layers to that. But I think like whenever we step back and we step away and then we really process it and think about it, like I think now also like I can remember our first fight when we were working on the first song, Bad Motel. That's the first time he was head of the project, and then we worked together.
Was it the first time or the second time?
Actually, the second time. Second time. First one was 35mm. So we had a big disagreement of like, we had
the arrangement.
We had like a little chorus, and then I was like, I wanted to write another chorus, and he was like, no, let's just make it a drop, like a very electronic. Now looking back, I'm like, actually, why did I write two choruses? Like, but having said that, like fans do still like it, like it's not like the song was a bad song. It was just that, now looking back, I was telling him the other day, I was like, I think I should have listened to you, but I was very afraid of deviating from our formula.
Right.
So, and at that time, because that was going to be the main song of the album.
Dude, there's a remix already lah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
actually we were thinking of like
revisit it. I don't know.
I mean, there's a remix already lah. With that drop instead lah. No, the remix already lah. It's different lah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think but what we do is we try to be as communicative as possible, because I feel like the big downfalls for bands or for people in teams is that you have like, oh, I don't like it, but there's no space to actually express it. So
like, it's just an issue of too much ego, I think sometimes.
Correct.
Right.
So, I mean, what I try to do, I don't know if it's effective or not, is that I will tell him or I'll tell anybody, I say like, yes, I'm somewhat like a dictator in this group, but if you challenge me and you have a perfectly justified reason to, I will hear one, I will change my mind one. It's not like
you're not stubborn to the point you won't change lah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm also learning. I have a lot of gaps in my ability that I feel like him and Chief definitely complements are. Like, for example, it's like just theory stuff, like certain chord progressions. I don't know how to resolve the chord.
Yeah.
I think Kun does that very well because he has a lot more
music theory,
and he knows where.
Actually, that's damn important, man. No joke.
Correct.
Like, I literally have zero music theory. It's so hard to like find the right chord progression. Suddenly you can start, but you don't know how to end, right? It's got problems like that.
It helps.
It helps. So like with NIE, the last song of the EP, that one I couldn't write melodies on top. So like I think we had an interesting process we did for the first time where we mapped out the chords, and then he basically played the scale of around the chords, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, then we tried to find the melody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so within the scale.
Within the scale, nice. I was like, whoa, okay. So I learned a lot through this process, a lot more technical stuff, like I think through this. So yeah. So I guess that's how we try to keep the balance of like within the team lah. So
as an extra note, I guess like for like one or two songs, for example, where things got a little heated and like we just sort of like start to, okay, clearly something's not working here.
Yeah.
And we are sort of disagreeing about stuff, right? And then like we're both a bit upset, right? Then at that point we just sort of, okay, we both realize it's not really anything personal. It's just okay, maybe we're just not on the same page. We just try to communicate, okay, here's why I said what I said, here's why I think what I think. And really try to just lay it out on the table. And then we don't really go too much into it because it's just, okay, all of that is within the studio. We don't really want to bring it out of the studio. If we want to, we just like talk it out. Okay, let's just talk it out, right? And just to sort of agree on something here, and really not let your personal opinions and ego, because clearly I have a bit of a different like
a preference,
preference, right? And like I'm like perfectly okay with, okay, let's not do what I want to do, because like again, this is like Sam's project, not really mine. So it's like if I'm part of the band, I'm part of the project, you know what I mean, and not trying to
take over.
And be me, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably the best way to go about it.
No, but I think it's not a bad thing to have like, sort of a debate sort of thing. It's actually quite healthy, right? In a way,
exactly.
you will then know how you're progressing, you will then know how you're evolving. Because if let's say everybody just say yes to him, then if we shit also the fellow, yes, and then he also won't know whether it's good or bad, right?
Correct.
At least if you guys challenge him, then it also improves individually, everybody's individual. As a musician, you improve as well, Which I think is good, There's nothing wrong, Even in anything you do in life, whether it's work or bands or whatever. If there's no beef, it's not healthy, and you have to argue, I argue with them all the time. Because all of us have different perspective and understanding of things, right? So maybe your way works better, but I mean the only downside is you really have to put your ego aside,
Correct.
So like outside the studio, of course we are like housemates, so like we would like have meals together and stuff like that, and we would sometimes just casually just talk about these kind of things and be like share our own personal life experiences and opinions and hey, have you heard this new song yet? This kind of thing. And even outside studio, we're just trying to just open each other up a bit to like more stuff. And I think that applies across the entire band, right? Like obviously Imran has his like K-pop stuff and I make fun of him for it, but it's like tell me more. Because I think tell me why you like the stuff you like.
A lot of things we can learn from K-pop. I think like the principles that they use.
I mean, you can't deny what they're so big groups.
Exactly.
They're so successful, right? There must be something that they're doing that is right, right?
Correct.
Right.
So I think that's very important. Where like just personally, in your own life, your own like personal life, you need to be willing to open up and just sort of share things as well and learn from that,
Right. So we're coming close to the end of the show, but before we end this, so being where you are today, what would you tell those who are in your position when you started? What would you tell them? What is it? Would you tell them to
look into it? I think like first thing first is just like try to gain as much resource as you can in terms of knowledge, because down the line production stuff. Simple DAWs, microphones, like it is very easy now to write a record than back then.
Yes.
So I think like it's great to practice your instrument and practice writing and all, which personally I feel like is still one of the most important things. But there should be time set aside to think about how to record it and like learn
how to present it.
And I would go as far as to say think about how you want to look, how you want to be perceived by the audience, how your social media is going to go. Because I feel like that's one thing that Lost Spaces has done quite well, where like through the years, I've always had a clear idea of like how I wanted to be presented. And it has evolved over the years for sure. I think when we got Shien, who does all our graphics,
and he helped it dictate
he in fact
look
like
to it.
it's brilliant. I think I love whatever he's done. In fact, like my process with him is quite like interesting, because I'll just like, here's the song, here's the object that I want to highlight, whether it's a cup noodle or something like that. You do your thing.
So you just use that as the base.
I literally never like tell him like, hey, can you change this? I never give him revision, because I think he also takes the time to sit down and like get into my head a bit. And so that comes to my second point. First thing is equip yourself, think about all the stuff. Second point is find good collaborators that can really embody cause for me, I feel like whatever Lost Spaces is, as much as it's my project or whatever, it would not be here without the people that have come on board and supported through the process. Whether it was Ken Sim last time, who literally gave me a microphone and gave me a place to stay, because I didn't. Shout out to Ken. Or coming all the way down here to meeting Chief from Breaking Music, and these guys along the way coming and playing with us. And of course, like I think that being consciously connected and trying to connect with other creatives, be it whether it's in the same industry or a different industry, is always important, because it stimulates your process a lot more. So I think I actually have written a lot of songs from a standpoint of just sitting in a conversation with another person, talking about a different industry altogether, whether it's film. Like for example, like I get very inspired listening to my girlfriend. My girlfriend's a filmmaker in Singapore, so she speaks on her industry and her stuff there, and it feeds your need and want to create as well.
Yep.
So that I feel like if you have all these, then you would be in this for a long run, rather than you go in and it's nice to play, right? And I think like if you really want to take it seriously and take it to that level of I want to learn to monetize it, you definitely need the team. You need to have resource, and as in like learn and expand your stuff. Me personally, I did this thing from 2016 all the way to 2018, where I wrote a song a day. And it was and I would advise people to do that too. I don't know.
It's good practice, man.
Yeah, it's a good practice. And to be honest, none of the songs are like any of the songs now. It was literally just
I don't think I
practicing words.
Yeah.
So I think I wrote like close to about 300-ish songs.
Yep.
But not full songs, but like verses and but that pattern allowed me to always be on my feet every time I go into the studio. There is I've got something to say.
It's easy for you to come up with something already, right?
Correct,
You practice so much,
And I think that's a good advantage to have. So
for sure, man.
Yeah. So all the best for people.
Well,
Mr. Kun?
So I guess some things I'd like to add is one thing is to be willing to try new things and open up your willingness. And like obviously Lost Spaces is actually very different from I guess how initially Sam wanted it to turn out. And that's I think a lot of it is because he's willing to let's try this, let's try that, and let's have you do what you think works, or like that kind of thing, and that has evolved. And don't be too possessive about your art. I think
don't be too possessive with ideas too.
And like once you put it out, it's out of your hands. It's up to the listeners to decide what it is, right? And as a creator, I feel like if you are a creator and a creative, you're gonna live your whole life just doing that, and I don't think you have to worry about too much of this thing doesn't sound very nice, or that kind of thing. It's like just do it, just create, and just be okay with just accept things as it is, and be willing to try new things. I think that's one big thing, right?
To add on, like there's one thing that Chief, our producer, like now he's actually in Brisbane and he's with his wife there. So he said this one thing to me, I think that changed my view of like creating and making music. Because you know how musicians are super perfectionists, and all, right? But I think he said this, that like every time you make a track and you finish it, and even if it's not finished in your eyes, if someone else says like, it's good to go, and it's someone that you trust, it's good to go lah. And always remember, even if you're not satisfied with it, there's always a chance to write better. So meaning that's what put me in the mode like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna make and not be too anal about like perfecting it, but at the same time like also there's that trust that the other people could help me find that and I let go a lot of that, and that's the reason why we have that many songs like that.
Which is good though. Like honestly, I really believe like regardless of whether your music is good or not, if you made it, you finished it, just put it out, man. I mean, the worst case is people don't listen to it, right?
Correct.
Right. That's the worst case scenario, what? And you got nothing to lose. The only thing you got to lose is time, man. If you put all these hours into it, and you end up just stashing it in your computer, it's just gonna die there, bro. So it's like even I made the same mistake. I made a lot of songs, but I never once put it out because I was like, not good enough, not confident. And after MCO, I was like, you know what? Okay lah, fuck it lah. Just put ni lah. It's not like I got anything to do, right? Just put out ni lah. Like, people layan lah. If not layan, so nothing wrong lah. So just, I mean, like really lah. It's my personal advice to everyone who wants to get into whether it's music or whatever you want to do. You just put in the time lah. You gotta put in the time. You gotta hustle. You gotta work hard. Nothing. Sure. You can be you can sing like Celine Dion or whatever, but if you're lazy lah, right? So like this guy worked hard. Like I legit watched him from the days he was like broke, no money. Struggling artist, literally like really struggling lah. Then to the point where I see him headline Good Vibes, and I was like, damn, now there's like it's good lah. Really, I mean it's a lot of time. It's really a lot of time. It's like for you, it's like what 2-3 years maybe or more.
Since 2015.
Okay, so about 4 years lah. About 4 years lah.
Yeah.
So it took 4 years. It's not overnight.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you guys. Congratulations on the EP.
Thank you so much.
Which music video is gonna be for which song?
For Purple Laces. So
Because his favorite
there's gonna be a video for Windows 95.
Ask your girlfriend to shoot lah.
That actually was the
Funny you
original
should say
plan. Funny you should say that, but I mean, it's hard because she's Singaporean. And
Never ask her to
we
shoot
have to-
Singapore. Ask her to shoot herself. Then you just, okay, I say the song's about you, right? Go shoot yourself.
we plan to do like this will probably be later down the line when we can actually travel. So my initial plan for Windows 95 was we would do a very vlog style, like go to Bali and just shoot like
Bali.
scenic areas and.
Hey, but they say Bali, if you couple go Bali, right? Break up, you know.
Oh really?
I've heard
They
of
say usually a lot. I legit have friends who waited until they get married only they go to Bali. Because they say if you're dating, you go to Bali, right? It's a very hot spot for breakups, one.
I see.
Yeah, I mean it's a what you call it,
It's a myth.
It's a myth lah, but the few times that few of my friends went, they actually broke up.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So I want to not believe it, but it happened.
Maybe we go somewhere else.
So I want to add on to that. It's I know. Okay, if I'm not wrong, I know a couple of friends of mine that went to Bali together, broke up there.
What?
Yeah, and like because I think they were like a few people, so it's not just them.
Oh.
And then they had to like endure each other and then come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
you cannot tahan, bro. Very awkward,
That's-
bro.
that's weird, man.
Yeah, really. Like the stories I've heard, it's quite ridiculous, serious, man. So I mean,
Damn.
if your relationship's healthy, sure lah.
Yeah.
But you never know, man. I don't know what is the curse in Bali that's causing this lah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. It's too hot, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
this is the end of the podcast. It's been like an hour. It's pretty fast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming, sir. You know, all the best to you guys. Whatever you guys do. Hopefully, you guys, hopefully this thing blows over and you guys can play again.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
We really
I haven't
hope
actually
that
haven't
it's,
seen you guys play live yet. I have seen you guys once at Medikaya, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
Quite long ago lah.
one-
Quite long
we
ago.
played there so many times.
Yeah, I know. That's like a hot spot lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. Anyway, you guys, please check their music out. Lost Spaces. You can check it out on Spotify. They're available on YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow them on Instagram. Lost
Yeah.
Spaces.
Yeah.
Individually, Sam Lopez.
Cool.
What's your Instagram handle?
Kuszanagi. KUS.
Oh yes, Kuszanagi. Yeah, I've seen this Instagram handle before. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Kuszanagi. Yeah, last year you got no long hair, man. I remember.
Yeah,
long hair
well, it's like from time to time. It's not as long now, obviously
yeah.
because of MCO, right?
Yeah.
So like that's one thing.
Man, please follow them and check out their music. Please let me know which music is your favorite, and check out the EP. There gonna be a music video in July. Yes.
July. 3rd July.
Yes. So this is Sam Lopez. This is Kun, and I'm Im. Thanks for tuning in to Cool Story, bro. Peace out.
Hey, 上意邊度？
我想出去買雞飯。